Okay, I wanted to make a quick response to the constant comment I get on the video I did about how to fortify your home or apartment. And I have people constantly telling me it's not a good idea to put up decal saying, protected by Second Amendment or, protected by Mossberg or something, because it lets potential robbers know that there's a firearm in the house. Now, if you watch that video, first off, I had a phase 1 and a phase 2. Phase 1 was basically like, now things aren't bad, you have rule of law, things you could do to keep yourself from being broken into right now, because things probably won't happen overnight. If it's an economic collapse like I see, it'd be a gradual thing, getting worse and worse, right? So phase 1 would be, the put big old boots, that thing, some big old massive, guy with gorilla size arms, big old huge guy, construction worker or something, lives in that house. Put dog bowls, stuff like that. Cactus under the windows, all preventative measures. And then a phase 2, which is shit at the fan, boarding up the house with nails sticking through and all that. So obviously, you wouldn't board your house up right now, right? And you probably wouldn't have gun decal in phase 2. But I wouldn't say I'm wrong. Everybody tells me I'm wrong about that. But let's look into what's going on now. Let's look at examples here, right? And then you be the judge of what's best for you. But what am I based on? Yes, you let people know you can have a firearm. But what am I basing my thoughts on? Right? I would say you want to look into the places with the highest crime rates, like violent, crime, gun crimes. Look at L.A., Chicago, Detroit, right? And also look to like the UK and France, right? These are all places where guns are very restricted, but break-ins, rapes, homicides are at much higher rates, right, than either other places in the U.S. or in the UK and France to what they were before these very restrictive gun bans. See, criminals prefer unarmed citizens, right? John Lott does a lot of good work with this sort of data. If criminals know there's no gun, they know there's maybe little to no resistance. If there is a gun in the house, then a petite old woman could be a formidable threat, right? Even a deadly force to overcome. That's the behavior we see with criminals right now. And I don't think that's going to change if shit's the fan. Also, if a criminal knows there's a gun in that house, right, and you're home, that's a 50-50 chance that they're going to come out okay, right? It's not that likely they're going to risk their life with the same odds as a coin toss. It's not worth taking something from your house when the guy, right next door is ripe for the picking, that probably doesn't have a firearm, so the criminal has no threat of being shot, right? And also, if they're going to break in, most break-ins are during the day. So that means, depending on how well you know your neighbors, you're going to have to do this in broad daylight, man. If you have like sound alarms, just simple sound alarms or home security, right? It's going to be harder to bust in there and take what you have during broad daylight. So they're probably going to go elsewhere, right? But yeah, you're letting people know firearms. There's firearms in the house by putting decal, right? But you're letting them know that it's a firearm that can be used against them. And if you look at examples all over the place, you compare look at Kennesaw, Georgia, right? Look at their gun crime. Look at their crime rate, basically non-existent, right? Because it's the law that you have to have a firearm. They don't enforce it, but still, the law, you have to have a gun in the house. So, look at their crime rate, right? Switzerland. it's required by law. You have the government issued fully automatic rifle. That's a machine gun, right? That's an assault rifle. Semi-autos that we have, they're not assault rifles, but a real assault rifle, a full auto, like the Switzerland government issues every household. Low crime. Criminals know they can get shot. They're not going to, they're going to find another profession. They're going to work for a living, right? So anyway, that's the thought process on why I recommend putting decal. Of course, the obvious, yes, you let people know, but the obvious, hey, you let them know they can get killed by that damn thing, or at least killed or crippled, right? They might take it, they may not. They got the same chance of flipping a coin. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I get tired of putting the same comment over and over. So I just thought I'd make a video and I'll post this response to those comments from now on. That way, you can see both sides of it. And if you look around, I think it's probably the better choice. But then again, it depends on your circumstances, where you live, what part of the country, It's up to you to decide for yourself. But I don't like people reading these comments. I'm like, okay, well, that's a bad idea. Right. Anyway, that's it for me.